Hey YouTube friends, and welcome to one of my very favorite videos each year to film, and that is all about the spooky season, as you probably already know from the title. I'm going to take you for a bit of a house tour and show you how I've decorated for Halloween this year. I've gone with a bit of a witch's garden theme, which I absolutely can't wait to show you. I also wanted to show you some of my favorite dark leaf plants for the year. Some of them are new additions and some of them are old favorites. And then at the end of the video, I've got a bit of an impromptu, completely unplanned visit to Bunnings. I went to Bunnings earlier in the week to grab some sea salt for the garden. I was delighted to see that they actually had an entire Halloween section, which here in Australia is just super exciting. I adore this time of the year. Between Halloween and Christmas, I can't really decide which one is my favorite because the whole Q4 season is just a fantastic opportunity to think of fun and creative ways of how I'm going to incorporate my plants into whatever seasonal decor I'm using. Seriously, I'm like a big kid at this time of year. I've gone with Witch's Garden as my theme this year because although I love Halloween, I'm more about the cozy, spooky versus the gory, horror spooky. That is absolutely not me. And with all of the fantastic stuff that's available online these days, it was really easy to find some lovely accessories to go along with my theme that I'm going to be able to use year after year. Little Miss Recovering Perfectionist has kept it super simple this year and created a witch's garden with pretty minimal stress, I have to say, and not too much overthinking, which is absolutely massive for me. If there is any positive in being in complete autistic burnout, that is learning to slow down and keep it simple, which for me is not easy, but it has actually meant that I've listened to my body and I actually love what I've done so much. It didn't require the overthinking and the stress that I normally create for myself at both Halloween, Christmas, Easter, all of the special occasions. But I don't know about you. Sometimes we just put so much pressure on ourselves to get it perfect. This has actually been a breath of fresh air. So absolutely can't wait to share that change with you. So I haven't gone over the top this year with decorations, but to me, it still feels like Halloween. It still feels like enough. So I'd be really interested to know what you guys think as well. And if we haven't met before, hey, I'm Mel. I'm that crazy plant lady who my friends and family say just cannot stop talking about plants. And this channel is all about bringing you along on my planting journey, mistakes and all, hopefully giving you a bucket load of tips and tricks along the way so that you can grow your planting collection as well. And if you enjoy this video, please do me a favor and leave your favorite planty emoji, or even better, because today's video is all about Halloween, your favorite Halloween emoji down in the comments. Even something as simple as one little emoji makes a massive difference in the YouTube universe to my very small channel, and I really appreciate it. Not much to show you this year on our entry wall, guys. I'm actually really proud of myself. I've just added a few little seasonal pumpkins. As you can see, I love these ceramic pumpkins. I got them from Target many years ago, and they just always make me smile at this time of the year. They're the first decorations that I put out in amongst my jungle plants. I just love them. I actually think next year, I wonder what you guys think in some of the other areas of the house. I've got some black eucalyptus that I've got hanging down, and I was actually thinking up here in these unfinished Besser bricks, hashtag married to a tradie, there's actually holes in there. So I'm thinking that I might be able to hang some of the black eucalyptus from this wall next year. I think that would look really cool. So watch this space, maybe next year. If you guys have watched any of my previous Halloween or Christmas videos, you would know that this entry table is probably one of my favorite areas in the house to decorate. And once again, little Miss Perfectionist here has really tried to keep it simple. And you know what? I'm loving it. I'm taking lots of photos so that I do something similar for Christmas, so I don't feel completely overwhelmed to do anything too complicated. Goodness, guys, I have to show you this. I know, completely not planty. I think I got it from, I want to say Temu or AliExpress, and I just love it. I think I'm going to keep it up and put it in the plant room. But my husband actually said, "Oh, is that a picture of you?" So yeah, I think she's staying. Hey Diesel, I think the postie's already been, buddy. Often for Halloween, I change the plants that are living on this table. I change these around and I add dark leaf plants, but I don't know, you guys can tell me. This year, I've just kept the plants that were here and added a few Halloween touches. It's not really dark, it's the middle of the day here, so I wanted to give you guys a feel for at night time. They're having a little bit of trouble, these candles. They're solar candles, and I love the feel. I've taken some videos, so I'll show you how they look at night time. This lives here all year round. Oh, TK Maxx. I had never been to TK Maxx around Halloween before, and seriously, cannot wait until Christmas time. I was in heaven. I went in to replace my favorite coffee mug I had broken. You guys might notice it won't be in any of my videos at the moment. So I went in to replace it. Couldn't replace it because they're full of Halloween stuff, but wow, can't wait to go back for Christmas. So at TK Maxx, I got this candle, which it's so me. And then what else? Oh, and then these books over here as well. I'll try not to make you dizzy. I'm so sorry, I did that really fast. See these books, I'll just move the candle out of the way. So I got these Halloween books. I love for Halloween and Christmas putting coloured books out and stacking plants on top of books that are relevant to the season. So I couldn't believe my luck when I found some actual specific Halloween books that I could stack at TK Maxx. More of little pumpkins. I cannot get enough of these cute little pumpkins. I just scatter them everywhere for this time of year. I've got another one in there. I guess I was really lucky. The pot covers that I normally have here, I thought my old watering can looks okay. And see, I already had that orange fabric pot. And then I thought these pots are already black and orange. So I've just left them all here and then just scattered those pumpkins in amongst it. How cute, by the way. Love this. This was another either LA Express or Temu find. It was under $10. I won't keep him up all year round. And then I always have this bowl of pine cones and seeds, or some knocking everything everywhere, and the rattan balls that I keep here all year round. And then I just change them according to the season. So all I've done this year is added some little metallic pumpkins in amongst it to make it feel a little bit seasonal, I guess. For the first time, I think, in a Halloween or Christmas for a very long time, I have not moved any plants. All of these plants are really, really happy growing here, and I really just didn't want to move them. And I particularly love at night time when those candles are going. It really does make me smile. Let's go outside. I'll show you what I've done outside. Daisy's coming with us. Can you hear her huffing and puffing in the background? You can come, girl. Come on. Don't you come? Good girl. So this is actually where I had planned to film this video, in this little corner, but it's actually 35 degrees here today. It's in Celsius. I'm not exactly sure what that is in Fahrenheit. So this jade plant lives here all year round. I'll put a before and after shot up because I really need to do something about this guy when it's not the festive season or Halloween. It's such a beautiful plant, and it's just in that terracotta pot. Oh, this is the black eucalyptus that I was talking about. I think I'll hang from the entry wall next year. Just put some pumpkin lights in it. This plant is so hardy. I've actually even been picking bits of old cobweb off that I used from last Halloween. It is just, yeah, it's had Christmas decorations and Halloween and Easter. I love my little skeleton. I've never owned a skeleton before. This is a new addition, so I couldn't help but get that sign as well to hang around its neck. These guys light up at night time, and I put a whole heap of those tea lights in there as well, and our little trick or treat sign. All right, let's go out the front. I'm going to have to do this bit in portrait, guys. I really don't want to show you too much of our street or our house number or any of those things. So this is the front garden that I've been working on. I don't know if I've got a before shot of it. So this gets the afternoon western sun, so it's after lunchtime here, and it's a bit overcast even. This is normally really, really sunny. So I'm trying different plants here at the moment. So some of the plants, for example, so my honeytail palm, that's a stayer that actually came with this house. So we moved into this house in 2004, and it came with the house, and it was so small. Moving that and acclimatizing that to living out here, I was so nervous, but it's been here for many months and it's going really well. Oh, there you go. Here comes the sun. We won't be out for very long. I'll get fried. I get fried if I even look at the sun for 5 minutes. So my bird of paradise, so my large bird of paradise, it seems to be going well. I've never had one before, and I've been trying to think about where I could put one. One of my husband's friends bought me this tree stump. His business is chopping down trees, and my husband had told him how much I wanted a tree stump to plant in. All of those little succulents will stay. They seem to be going really well, and they will eventually trail down. But it's the spiller plants, like the trailing plants, that I'm trying to find for these two pots, but I haven't found a successful trailing plant here yet. But don't worry, watch this space, it's coming. The flapjack's going really well, and I quite like the Medusa's heads in here as well, but this pot needs a little bit more work. I thought about a cousinette, because these are all succulenty, different watering needs. So I'm trying to think of a beautiful trailing plant for both of the white pots. If any of you guys have got any suggestions, succulenty type water needs, please yell out. Okay, enough of that. Let's look at all the witch's garden theme. I got these guys first, and they look great at night time. I can't wait to show you photos. Just some glow-in-the-dark mushrooms, and you know what? They're staying, guys. I love them so much when I drive past, and I've actually had a few neighbours ask where I got them from, so they are staying. I've of course added the black eucalyptus. How nice is this? So we live near the beach, and this was some driftwood that I think washed up. One of my friends gave it to me during one of our recent storms, and I just love it, and I've been waiting for somewhere to put it. I think it works really well there. You can see I've just put some more of those little metallic pumpkins in amongst it. I love this stump here. I put it here for Halloween, and I think I want to keep it. So I've got to work out what I can put in amongst that when the pumpkins go. Once again, if you've got any ideas, please yell out. yeah, because I just love the feel of that. I love that. In a world full of princesses, be a witch. So I found that also on Temu or Alibaba or maybe Amazon, and then same another witchy one there. And then these guys light up at night time. So once again, I'll show you a picture. And then these spiders, they all light up. I kept that old vine there from winter. I thought the spiders looked really good in them and they light up purple. But that's my witch's garden and I'm absolutely loving it. I've had some really positive comments from the neighbors, so I hope you guys love it as well. Oops, and I almost forgot to show you some of my favorite Halloween decorations. I just adore those old lanterns. They are so old now. I had to really have a think about which plant I wanted to show you first. I've chosen my red arrow Begonia because this is a plant that I didn't even know existed. You know when you haven't seen something before and then you just start seeing it, or maybe it's just because you're paying more attention. So I hadn't ever heard of a red robin syngonium. I love syngoniums and my husband knows I love dark leaf plants. So on one of his visits to Bunnings, of all places, earlier this year, he found this and thank goodness convinced me to buy it. And I am just in love with this plant. So not only are the leaves just super, super dark, look at the color on the back. I probably see it better in this one actually. And you can see it is growing. It is just growing so crazy. This is the trellis that it came with. I'm probably going to cut it off and push it up a little bit. But before I just go chopping the top off, because it's so healthy, and I haven't owned this plant before, I took a little bit of the top off and I've just been testing it in water. Look at the roots. This has only been in here for maybe a month and see it's got new shoots. So it just looks like it's going to be one of those plants that's super, super easy to propagate. When it gets a little bit more roots, I'll pop this one in here and then I'll cut a little bit more off the top. I just adore this plant. It was such a lovely find. I'm so grateful that my husband pointed it out, convinced me to buy it, because I really was trying to be better at not buying plants this year. But it's just, what's not to love? The colors on the back, the dark leaves, oh my goodness. Yeah, one of my very favorite dark leaf plants. It's funny, I started the year saying no more plants. I'm not buying any more plants. I've got too many. And because I'd done that big purge last Christmas and it felt really good. And then it was probably about May, so my husband and mine's wedding anniversary, and he took me to one of my very favorite plant nurseries called the Bunker. And I got that beautiful fern leaf cactus. It's been a wish list plant for so long. And he's like, I'll buy it for you for our anniversary. And then I guess just from there, I started thinking, why do I have to do that? These new plants are bringing me so much joy. And there's plants that I'm battling with in my collection. And so I guess about mid-year, my philosophy changed from no more plants. And, you know, the plants that you've got, deal with it. So now I do, as I've mentioned in many videos, one in, one out. And I really am leaning into these beautiful dark leaf, moody plants. Usually easy care, high percentage easy care plants, because they really do bring me so much joy. And I'm just making sure that if a plant comes into my collection, another plant goes out. Whenever I'm buying anything for the house or clothes for myself, I always do that cool down period. So I don't just rush out. Actually, one of the last plants I'm showing you is very much that. If I see something, I don't just rush out and buy it straight away. I really think about it, you know, really take time. So I'm not bringing plants in mindlessly. I always make sure that, so I know it's care needs, I've got a spot for it to live, and there's a need to bring it in. So there's a plant maybe that's causing me grief, or that I've composted, or maybe swapped at plant club. So I'm not just bringing plants in willy-nilly. That was a complete ADHD sidetrack. So along that line, this is another plant that I brought into my collection this year. So I've got a beautiful peperomia baby rubber plant, and it's just plain green. It probably could be here in this dark leaf collection, except that I saw this one, the plain one, was actually on my purge list for a long, long time. And all that it took is I changed its location. It now lives in our lounge room. I changed the pots. It is just so easy to care for. And it's given me a real love for peperomias. And then I saw this one, once again, I think this was just a Bunnings plant. So this is another peperomia albifolia, but it's really dark. And I'm just noticing this light is not doing it any justice. Let me maybe just take it out of its cover pot. Try and bring it closer. The edges of its leaves really are almost black. So this is another plant, luckily, that can take up one of my low light locations, because not all the plants in my collection I can give maximum light to, but just another really easy care, easy to propagate. I had to take a photo for you. It's got a dark border around the leaves. So the leaves themselves are dark, so even darker than my normal baby rubber plant. And then it's got these beautiful dark borders around it. And so I'm absolutely loving this. And I'm really glad that I brought it into my collections. It didn't cost me a fortune, but it's more about space for me and buying plants unnecessarily. And I actually found, so these guys, all the Peperomia albifolias, I've got a few of them now. I found self-watering, no. They actually are a bit prone to soggy roots. These guys, all my albifolias, are just in my chunky mix. And I'm not completely dry like a succulent, but I do let them dry out a good amount before I re-water, and I've found that's how I get the most out of them. But oh my goodness, this guy makes me smile. And particularly, this is this thrift pot that I found at the markets. So loving this for Halloween, but definitely loving that combo. And I'm really glad that I decided, Mel, you love dark leaf moody plants. Bring them into your collection. If you've watched some of my other videos, you'll know that I'm all about keeping plants simple. Adore alocasias in particular. I love anthuriums, but alocasias in particular, and their dark colors, because dark color leaves are absolutely my thing. I do find that they're that little bit higher level of care. So although I do own 2 alocasias, or actually 3 alocasias at the moment, I try not to have a large amount of them in my collection because I do find them that hard to care. So a lot of the dark leaf plants that you'll see today are not anthuriums and alocasias. I try to pick dark leaf plants that'll still give me that vibe that I just adore, without them taking too much time or effort to look after, which I have particularly appreciated at the moment while I'm in burnout. So this is my Micans, my philodendron Micans, and I asked ChatGPT about this one, whether people would technically call this a dark leaf plant or not, and Chat agrees that this can go in the dark leaf plant category, but it definitely is. It's right up there with my red arrow in that if I could only keep a few plants, the Micans, 100%. I just love this. What the camera is probably not doing justice is the velvety texture of these leaves. One of my friends put me onto it earlier in the year. I could not be more grateful to her. I've got this growing in probably one of the lowest light conditions in my house. I'm a big fan, as you know, of grow lights and giving my plants the maximum chance to grow by providing them lots of light. This is the one of the guys though that isn't getting as much light. You can't give maximum amount of light to all of your plants, and this guy is growing really, really well in a medium light location. And as you can see, it's just getting just more and more growth. It was such a small plant when I got it, and wow, propagates really easy as well. Let me know what you guys think. But for me, I definitely class this as one of my dark leaf moody plants in my collection. Definitely makes me smile. I love the Micans for its ease of care, ease of propagation, and those amazing leaves. Next up in my dark leaf plant collection is my ZZ Raven, or so I discovered here, what's it called in Australia? A jungle. Oh my goodness. Words are completely escaping me at the moment. I'll put the name up here, but something to do with jungle. Same, the color of these leaves. I wish I had one that was sprouting new growth at the moment, because although the leaves are almost black on these, the new growth that comes up is actually, oh, it's on outside, I should have brought it in for you, is actually light in color. So I love when the new growth is coming through and you get that green contrast. I got this from Bunnings a few months ago, and the reason I've got all these little propagations of it and I don't have one big plant, I have never had such a root-bound plant in my life as this particular plant when it came. Luckily, it was in a nursery pot and I was able to cut it, but I tried all of the usual tricks. It was in, I want to say it was a good 15 centimeter pot, so it was a decent sized plant. And I could tell initially, like, I hosed it, I watered the soil, and it wasn't budging. I thought, all right, so I did my bucket trick, set it in a bucket of water for an hour or so, and usually that gets the soil really, really wet. You can scrunch the nursery pot, try and get it to move. It would not budge. There was definitely way more roots than soil. So in the end, to get it out of the pot, I've never had to do this before. I actually had to cut it out of its nursery pot. So luckily it was one of these soft little nursery pots. But I did so much damage to the plant trying to get it out. I ended up just with lots and lots of little bits. And thank goodness, although they grow really slowly, they are hardy plants. Once I had to damage the plant so much, I separated them into a few different pots, hedging my bets once again and wanting to make sure that at least some of them survived. So they're well and truly surviving. Oh my goodness. And actually it's quite lovely having lots of little dark leaf plants, pops of the dark leaf all over the place. I love this. This is the pot I've shown you guys before that my neighbor has a 3D printer. See that? How cute is that? Reading a book. I think that's adorable. So one of the ZZs is in here. This is probably the hardest one to look after. You can see it's looking a bit dry. For a ZZ to be dry, I've done a really good job of underwatering it. See how it doesn't have a drain hole? So I'm really careful because these have the rhizomes not to overwater, but I think I've pushed this guy a bit hard because when I picked it up to do this video, I was like, ooh, that actually looks dry. Well, I did water it before I did the video, but I have to say, I do find pots without the drainage the hardest. One of my plant club friends had read that you can actually propagate the leaves which I hadn't heard of before. I thought you needed at least the stem. I have propagated ZZs from stems before, but obviously having the rhizome is the easiest. These are 4 of the leaves that actually fell onto the grass when I was having to cut the pot, and all 4 of them, I won't pull them out, have roots. They've actually developed a little rhizome, a little bump at the bottom of each of the leaves. The roots are starting to grow. I've just tipped the plant upside down in my lap, so now you guys get to see the roots because it's all over me and the floor. So I'm just gonna have to turn the video off for a minute, guys, and clean up the chunky mix that's all over my lap and the floor. I'll be back. Just while I'm cleaning up the mess, you might be able to see, that's the best one to show you. Got a really good amount of little rhizome developing in the roots. So exciting. I didn't realize that you could grow ZZs from just from a leaf. I thought we might look at a begonia next. So this is that new begonia hybrid rising star that I got, that I repotted. Was it last week's video or the video before that? It did take a bit of a battering when I was repotting it. For anyone who saw it, it went quite floppy and I did damage a lot of the leaves. So I did end up cutting a fair few of the leaves off and I've used them for propagations. But I'm happy to say it's got lots of little new shoots coming out. And look at the colors. Got the beautiful maroon underneath. But as far as dark leaf plants go, this is definitely one of my darkest leaf plants. And I'm so glad that I found it at that online nursery. It's just got a bucket load of baby shoots coming up, so I'm so happy. It also looks like it might be about to flower again, so it didn't do so well. If you saw the unboxing video, I'll have to have a look at the date. It wasn't very long ago, but it came with all those beautiful flowers and it actually did have quite big leaves, but it got quite squashed in transit. And then not long after that, I did transition it to this self-watering setup. And look, I'm glad that I did because just like all of my other Rex begonias, it has been really thirsty. And when a plant's still in soil, I do feel really nervous about watering them. So I'm really glad, although it doesn't look anywhere near as pretty as when it arrived, it's happy and healthy. It's got new shoots. Can I show you? Is it this one? Like the color, this is probably the best one. Look at the velvet texture again on a new leaf. The camera just doesn't do it justice. And then as it develops, it develops that green stripe down the leaf. This is probably the most mature leaf on the plant. When I got the plant, the leaves were much bigger. There's 3 stems in this pot, and as I said, lots of new little shoots, and I've also got some propagation. So I'm hoping that by the end of summer, by the end of growing season, this pot will be nice and full again. Definitely loving this as one of my dark leaf plants. My husband keeps calling them grandma plants, but I don't care. I think they're beautiful. And see, I mentioned Alocasias. I thought I would show you. This is a new plant. I only got it last week. I went to, there was a plant market, a big plant market in Brisbane, which is few and far between. It's a really big deal for us Brisbaneites here when something comes. So it was called Plantabalooza, and it was over on the south side of Brisbane. I was so glad one of my plant club friends told me about it. When I went to Plantabalooza, I didn't take my normal basket that I take because I was like, I don't need any plants. I'm trying to be good. But seriously, the selection was amazing and the prices were really good as well. It's normally a fruit market, and so my friend said, you realize even though you don't have your basket, it is normally a fruit market, Mel. There's going to be boxes everywhere. And no. And yes, I filled a box. I'm really happy with the plants that I got because this black velvet, so you can see it's still got the price tag on it, $12. It did have one, maybe 2, I can't remember. I cut off the 2 biggest leaves because it got damaged while I was transporting them. I didn't want to keep the damaged leaves on there, and it was happy and healthy, so I cut the 2 damaged leaves off. And already it's shooting a new leaf. So I've got it sitting down with my Amazonica. I didn't know whether to include the Amazonica in this video because it's definitely dark leaf. It's beautiful, but it's not as dark leaf as some of the other plants that I'm showing you. So I guess that's why I wanted to show off my new black velvet. I'm itching to repot it. It's definitely been on my list of plants that I wanted because it's all about dark moody plants. And for $12, I thought I'll give it a try. It's pretty established. It's a really nice and healthy plant. Oh my goodness, look at those leaves. It's so beautiful. I'm so happy to see. It must be really happy. I've got it in the ensuite, so it's getting the humidity. It's underneath the Soltec lights. The only thing that makes me nervous is it's still in soil. So all of those Plantabalooza plants that I got, we've got some serious repotting to do, guys. So I've got a number of Plantabalooza plants that need to be repotted. And then I just had a ripper plant club swap. I got One of the plants I'm about to show you next actually was from Plant Club, but I've just had a run of really beautiful plants coming into my life. And yes, soil in LA, it's not a good thing. Firstly, it makes my sinuses go crazy, but also I am such an underwater. Plants in my care shouldn't be in soil. I really need those self-watering setups. So this guy's a definite to be repotted, but I feel so lucky. I didn't think that a black velvet would come into my life so quickly. It was on my wish list. I was just going to do a Google search and show you the black velvet as one of my wish list plants for this video. And now I've got a real one to show you. So that's super cool. I can't believe it. Once again, camera doesn't do it justice. It's just so pretty. Love this guy. So happy. $12. I felt like it was a bargain anyway. I have just been talking for the last 5 minutes and I have a really bad feeling that I didn't hit record because my phone just turned off, and then when I looked at it, it hadn't been recording. So I hope it has only stopped at the Oxalis. I was just showing you guys, for anyone who had a chance to watch my repotting video. So this was a wishlist plant. I finally found it on Facebook Marketplace, and it's definitely nothing to look at the moment, but these few little leaves are bringing me so much joy because I've got quite an established plant off Facebook Marketplace. It was in a recycled candle jar, which was metal, and when I went to repot it into my chunky mix, it was very stuck to the bottom, and these stems completely ripped off. It was so stuck, it was almost like glued to shells down in the bottom. I'm really not sure, and the soil was really old. It didn't matter how much water I added, it wasn't coming up. Anyway, half of the internet told me, good luck, you've just got yourself a bunch of flowers. And the other half said, no, absolutely, Oxalis can grow from stems. And I'm really happy to say Oxalis can grow from stems. Look at that. I kept the rhizome and the roots. They haven't sprouted yet. They're in my chunky mix, moist but not wet. But look at these guys. So it looks like you can actually grow Oxalis from stems. Even if the rhizome and the roots don't end up shooting anything, I still have a bit of that original plant. And the color of the leaves, just beautiful. I mean, it's very, very much smaller. There was so many more leaves and it had flowers, but I'm just absolutely delighted that this part of the plant is still alive and growing. I'll keep it in water for a lot longer until it gets a lot more roots, but look at those colors. When you talk dark leaf plants, I think these are right up there. They're just so pretty. There's so many plants like this. You know, people, you see them on the internet or you see them on Instagram, and they look lovely, but it's sometimes not until you see them in real life that you realize just how pretty they are. And that's exactly what happened with me with the Oxalis. I went and visited a friend for coffee and she had one. And I was like, okay, now I understand why people love them so much. I'm so happy to have this as one of my dark leaf plant additions this year. And on top of that, I guess it's taken the pressure off a lot. At Plantapalooza, they didn't have very many Oxalis, but I found this guy for $10. And at the time, my water propagation hadn't started sprouting, so I didn't know if it was going to be a success. And I thought for $10, it looks like I've got 2 Oxalis now, so 2 dark leaf wishlist plants. So it's just been a bonus. And for so long, it was so hard to get Oxalis, and then not only to find one on Facebook, which I managed to damage while I was repotting, but then to find one at Plantapalooza for $10, I feel really, really fortunate. So now I've got 2 beautiful Oxalis. And I've just noticed while I was showing you guys, look at this. Not sure if the seller meant it or not, but there's another little plant in there as well. I'll have to, it's out of the soil. I'll have to plant this guy as well. I'm glad that I spotted it. I'm gonna put that in the soil. Could have missed him altogether. It's dripping. Oh my goodness, you should see the mess I've made down here during this video. All right, let me go and wash my hands and grab the next dark leaf plant for you. Okay, last 2. Oh, I almost knocked over my tea. Goodness, I'm having a shocker. So this one came from Plant Club this month. So as you all know, I love begonias. Definitely a begonia girl. Can't stop collecting them. So I've got the big angel wing begonia, but this is according to my plant ID app, the dwarf version. It's just lovely. It's got new shoots already. I've only had it for a few weeks. It's got new shoots already, but in true begonia fashion, look, beautiful dark colors on the back of the leaves. I just think, I'm just looking on my camera and the camera really isn't doing it justice to how dark and beautiful these leaves are. Another dark leaf moody style plant that's definitely making me smile, and it lives right near, I've got it near a black CZ and a red arrow. I just love that corner on my buffet. So this was a really nice surprise. One of my Plant Club friends specifically bought it for me. She came up before Plant Club and said, Mel, put this under the table because I bought this one for you. I know how much you love them. And she knew that I had the large maculata, and she said, I've got this dwarf version that I just knew you'd love. So that was lovely. Also still in soil, so needs to go in the repotting video. And then the very last plant that I have for you, it's another plant that I had seen on other videos, but I'd never seen in real life. Funny story, I was telling my plant club ladies, I think, yeah, last weekend was plant club, or weekend before. Anyway, within the last 2 weeks, we had plant club, and I was telling them about this plant. I said it wasn't even on my wish list, and I went into Bunnings just to get sea salt, ended up doing that impromptu video that I'm about to show you guys, and then found this plant and kept going back to this plant, and then kept thinking about the plant for a whole 2 days, went back, thank goodness, and got it. And lucky I didn't wait any longer than 48 hours, because when I went back, there were only 2 left. It's also called, and I thought, as soon as I looked it up, I thought, no wonder I liked it, because they're also known as a Rex Begonia vine. Wow, once again, I don't think the camera will do this justice at all, but the colors, oh my goodness, the dark colors. Let me turn it around. Look, maroon on the back, really beautiful dark leaves with that variegation. I'm probably going to let it go up the trellis for now because of where I'm growing it, but it can also vine. Definitely going to propagate this guy. I can see me having it vining in multiple places around our house. And the best thing was, actually, I had some flyby points up, so it didn't cost me as much, which is an absolute bonus. Anyway, telling the ladies, and the lady said, oh my goodness, I've just bought myself exactly the same plant for exactly the same reason. So we were both throwing off our vines. So this is my very, very latest dark leaf addition to my collection. I couldn't be happier. This time of year is so my time of the year. There's just something about these dark leaf plants that I just absolutely adore, and I've really enjoyed showing them all to you guys. I've got so many wish list plants that I had planned to show you in this video, but it'll have to wait for another video. I'd much rather take you for a Halloween walk around Bunnings, and we'll have to talk wish list plants another day. Oh my goodness, I almost completely forgot my absolute biggest dark leaf plant that I own, because it's on our front patio and it's way too big to bring in here. So I'm actually gonna have to show you guys photos. And I have a lot of guilt happening with this plant at the moment. It's my big black stem elephant ears, and according to my plant app, it's some sort of Alocasia. It could be some sort of hybrid, or potentially, did it say black magic, I think? I just love it. It is way too big to live inside anymore. It was actually a rescue plant. And so this will actually be the 3rd time. So right now, she's not looking as pretty as she normally does, which is really disappointing, because she's on the front patio ready for Halloween. But I think it was probably completely preventable. This is the 3rd time I've had to cut it back to stem. So I'll put a photo up here of what she looks like now. And then I'll also put a photo up of what it normally looks like when it hasn't had spider mites. So a few days ago, I really think this is completely my fault, you guys. I went out onto the front patio, and I've been so completely obsessed with my Ficus Taniki, because I chopped it over winter, if you remember. Got all these beautiful new shoots coming, and I've been really conscious, hashtag married to a tradie. The hose around the side of our house is broken, the fitting is broken, and I rely on hosing and watering my plant, putting my plants out in the rain, putting my plants in the shower as one of my main pest control measures. So it has been months since I've been able to hose the plants on my front patio. The Taniki I'm working at, because I've been so focused on it, is probably my favorite out there. And I actually did even find myself, I know I'm about to say it, dusting its leaves. And so the poor elephant ears, I had actually turned it around so all of the leaves were facing out into the yard. So the few times that it actually has rained, it was at least getting some rain on the leaves. But what that meant is, when I was bucket watering every few days, I wasn't looking at the leaves. And earlier in the week, I went out, and I don't know why, but I came around from the other side, and every single leaf was like covered in spider mites. I'm going to put some B-roll up here for you. I couldn't believe it. I just felt sick for the poor plant, because this has obviously been going on for quite some time for it to get so bad. And so the only thing to do was to cut it down. I've just completely chopped it back. We've been here before. I know it will grow. It's growing season. It's already got 2 new sprouts coming out, but I am feeling guilty. I think if I hadn't been so focused on the Taniki, my elephant ears obviously needed some help as well. And also finding a solution. I think I can run the hose actually from the back here through the house, because the house isn't very wide and it's only the front patio. So I'm actually going to try, it could end up in disaster knowing me, but I'm actually going to try running the hose through the house, because the plants on my front patio are just too big to move. I can't bring them into the shower. I can't move them into the back area to hose. I'm feeling so much guilt towards that plant, but she's just so beautiful. It was a rescue, and I brought it back. This will be the 3rd time now, but when she is at her best, absolutely beautiful, and definitely one of my favorite dark leaf plants. And I think they're extra special when you've rescued them as well. So yeah, absolutely up there with my dark leaf plants. And she normally plays a really big part in both my Halloween and my Christmas. So maybe by Christmas, there might be some leaves back. Okay, let's get the B-roll up and have a look around Bunnings. It was these pumpkins that caught my eye first, and the Haworthias. I had never ever thought about Haworthias as a Halloween plant, but of course those dark colours, it's given me a new appreciation for them. I've just got them growing in amongst some of my other succulents. These little pots, I think they were all around that $16 mark, which I thought was really reasonable. Look at this selection, $18.95 for Frankenstein with some ferns. Oh, look at these little ghosts with the whole Haworthias again. Absolutely using these guys for Halloween next year, $18.97. It was a whole tiered lot of shelves, all dedicated to Halloween. So good. I just hadn't seen this before because Halloween's not usually that popular here in Australia. Oh, these little ghosts were cute, $16.97. Some aloe, also not a plant I would normally associate with Halloween. More of these pumpkins. I think I need to get some of these pumpkin pots for next year. $16.97. I'm not sure about the ghosts, but I love the pumpkins. Not sure about these guys either. Are they golems, do you think? I'm not sure. Are they $16.95? Yeah, I wasn't sure about these ones. I do like the peperomia that's in it. The ghosts are cute, but I think the pumpkins are better. And look at this cat. I think I need one of these cats as well. $18.95. Maybe I need some pumpkins and the cat. More than one pumpkin, I think. They were all different types. Echeverias, Haworthias. I didn't mind these skull planters. I think they're cute. A whole heap of calatheas in the painted skulls. Probably not my style, but still super cool that they've got them. Are they? Yeah, they're $18.95 as well. I love that they've got the calatheas in there. I think calatheas make a good Halloween plant. So sure on the black skull planters, that's not really me. Lots of options. Really exciting. I hope next year they have even more. That would be really, really cool. Some mummy planters. I think, are they $18.95 as well? Yep. With some ferns. And then back to the Frankenstein planters. And then just some plain white, plain orange. Oh, here were the thing hands. The thing hand planters. I did like these. Look, good on Bunnings for having this selection. And there was lots of interest. Were these, I can't remember if these were the $16 or $18 ones as well. With the Triscantias. I always have trouble pronouncing that. I actually think that's what that mystery plant is in amongst my Oxalis. More thing hands. Yeah, they're really cool. I might get one of them for next year as well. Oh, I thought out of all of the plants in the thing hands, I liked this aloe because it had that little bit of fur over it. I thought that would be absolutely perfect for Halloween. That would fit my house really well. Yeah, I like that. It gives you guys a good view. As I said, that's a big deal for Brisbane. But as usual, I hope you've enjoyed this extra special spooky dark leaf edition. I've just had so much fun filming it for you. If you have any suggestions for videos, please put them down in the comments. I'm always looking to make videos on topics that you guys are interested in. If you made it this far through the video, thank you so much again for spending time with me today. I really, really appreciate it. And until my next video, take care and remember, you've totally got this.